was to do yoga while in India. You know, yoga was essentially founded by the Hindus. It's something that they practice, and so I thought it'd be very appropriate to do it here. I was really interested in doing a yoga class with an instructor that we'd never worked with before, because we did poses that I had never even heard of and physically could not even do. But the instructor says yoga will be my friend.
Because it was a two-person class, it was literally me and Nat and the instructor, it was a lot more sort of two-way. There was more communication, and with the meditation sequence at the end, it was a lot more like spiritual and inward looking. It's less about the body and how much you can sweat.
Walking around Fort Cochin, you see traces left from the British, the Portuguese, and in this case, from the Chinese. In fact, from way back 1400 AD, it's a legacy from the traders from the court of Kublai Khan. They're essentially cantilevered Chinese fishing nets, and at high tide, you need at least 4 people to operate them.
Behind me you can see something that looks crazy steampunk, and basically they're from the 50s here in Fort Cochin in the dry dock. They're boilers that ran the cranes that basically moved everything in the dry dock, but man, now they just look like they belong in a post-apocalyptic spaghetti western.
When you're exploring a new country, as fun as it is to kind of get your hands into the culture and try the local food and the local coffees and the local teas, it's nice to have a brand that you can kind of get comfortable with and always rely on in any town you go to. In this case, Cafe Coffee Day certainly gives me my Starbucks fix.
There aren't a lot of safe places where you can have water or really anything with ice in it. But luckily, Cafe Coffee Day uses filtered water to make their ice. Sure, the coffee's great, but really, it's about the air conditioning and the clean bathrooms. So behind me is the Matancherry Palace, which honestly doesn't look like much. But in the 1500s, it was given to the royal family in Kochi by the Portuguese to pretty much sweeten a deal for trade rights. But then 100 years later, the Dutch took over, so now it's also called the Dutch Palace. Now inside, there are some amazing murals. Hindu portraits, Vishnu, Krishna, Shiva, amazing stuff. Considering it's hundreds and hundreds of years old, the restoration is interesting, but more interesting is the incomplete art, because I have no idea why it's not finished. Additionally, it's been turned into a museum, so it's got some amazing history on the local martial art that's over 4,000 years old, plus it has information about the royal families and some amazing artifacts, like this sword given to the Maharaja by the Prince of Wales when he was knighted.
Turning the palace into a museum is all fine and dandy, but unfortunately the current restoration that's going on prevented us from seeing the one thing we really wanted to see, which was a mural of Krishna going to town on 8 milkmaids. Wow.
You can really sense the Judeo-Christian influence in this area of Cochin because it's Sunday and almost everything's closed.
We stopped up for lunch at Casa Maria. This place right here has a Portuguese name with cooks trained by a traveling Frenchman and Indian dishes on the menu, including a Carolyn fish curry that Matt had to order, of course, super spicy. My lassi thirst can never be quenched, so it's time to try the papaya lassi. Wow, I got a papaya chunk. They're actually mixing in real fruit juices here. Pretty good.
The food has arrived and it all looks excellent. Now, this is the fish curry, and I've already tried a small taste of the sauce, and I'm kind of still choking on it. It's pretty spicy. I'm not even sure what kind of fish this is, but let's see how it goes. Oh, you can tell this guy was fished like maybe 2 or 3 hours ago. It is so fresh. Delicious, and this rice has a bit of the curry sauce on it now. Let's see how that goes. Nice. It's got the coconuts, it's got the curry leaves, it tastes Kerala. It's excellent.
So while sitting in Casa Maria, it turns out that it started to rain. And we're sitting right by the window, so you could actually feel how the temperature is dropping immediately with the rainfall, and the breeze has gotten pretty nice.
So, as if I wasn't sweating enough from the humidity and heat in Kerala, spicy fish curry definitely has me perspiring a little bit. So, it's time to get out of here and head back into our own town.
Since we're staying at a cultural arts village, every evening we happen to hear some crazy noise from down the hall. So tonight, we decided to investigate what that ruckus is all about.
It turns out all that ruckus is Kathakali dance. It incorporates a welcome dance, solo dancing, group dancing, and some very dramatic dancing. Similar to the way ancient Greek theater used to incorporate masks to get the people in the back rows to know exactly what the emotions of the actors are, in Kathakali dance, it's up to the actor's actual face to express a particular emotional vocabulary that the audience is familiar with.
Karuna, compassion. Viryam, valor.
Tim Burton's first Batman film in 1989. But there's a point where Knox walks into Bruce Wayne's armory, basically, all of his ancient armor, and he says, "Ooh, this one looks like the king of the Wicker People." There's something about this room that really reminds me of that scene.